What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. It's Fran here today. It's always funny when I do the intro. I wonder if it's a jump scare for people. Kelly is here with me today. We do not have Rhea, sadly. She is not feeling well. So Kelly is here. But once again, guys, Chicks in the Office is presented by Macy's. Right now, Macy's has this awesome collaboration that they're doing with Disney. It is a collection featuring apparel, accessories, collectibles, and more. When Rhea and I did some shopping in Herald Square, we actually saw the full display of all the whole collection. It is really, really cute. Like, if you have a Disney lover in your life, this is such a great gift. It's featuring new and exclusive Disney artwork by Jeff Shelley, Disney's legendary director of character art. The exclusive collection is available on Macy's.com, Macy's mobile app, and select Macy's stores nationwide. So that's another really cool thing. It is exclusive to Macy's. And honestly, shout out to the woman who was working the section in the store. Because when we were walking around looking, she came right up to us and was like, because we were filming too, and she was like, "This is exclusive to Macy's. Make sure you're saying that." Like, I was like, you know what? You're
Get
so
this lady
right.
a raise.
I will make sure that we do say this is exclusive to Macy's. It's all really, really cute stuff. So you can shop now at Macy's.com or visit your local Macy's. Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
Hey, Fran. Oh, I'm good. I feel like it's been a while.
It's been a while for us to do a show together.
Yeah,
because I like wedding stuff. I feel like
when you were out, I
filled in a lot for me. So then you were obviously with Rhea, and now now it's the two of us.
It's fabulous.
Yes.
I did Taylor Watch today too, so I just have a whole afternoon of Mariano
That's
girls.
just all you
can't ask
really,
for anything better.
It's just surrounded by us,
which I love. I love
sides.
that. I love that. It makes me feel like my own family's here.
Yeah,
which is fabulous. How are you doing?
Great.
How's married life?
Great. Oh, it's lovely.
Isn't it fabulous?
Yeah.
Do you know that I forget if I told you when we were in Nashville, Joe was saying to me the whole time, he was like, first of all, every time we were like sitting off to the side, he'd be like, just look at her. Look how beautiful she is every time about you. And then he'd be like, I'm just so glad we're married. I'm just so glad we're married. He must have said it 25,000 times. Like, I'm just so glad we're married and look at my beautiful wife. Yeah, and so that was lovely to see.
That is very sweet. I will say there was coming home. It's into the wedding planning, and he, plans the proposal, does the whole thing. We're planning the wedding. We're doing everything for that. Get married, honeymoon, you come home, and then you're like, wow, like now you can kind of just like,
you can just chill out and just exist
and be like excited about just being married.
Absolutely. So, fabulous.
No, that was nice. We had such a fun time in Nashville.
That was a really, really good time. Yeah, the whole trip was really fun. More fun than I think I anticipated having. Like, not that I didn't think I was gonna have fun, but I've been in Nashville. I know the vibe. I know the whole thing, and obviously, like, love going to you guys' shows. But once you go to the bar, it's like, all right, you have a couple drinks and whatever. Yeah. We both were cutting a fucking rug the entire time. It was a really good time.
I was like prepared to be dragged out of there. Like, I was like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Like, if people were starting
when I got back.
I know people were starting to drop. I was like, I'm staying.
No, I'm like that where I won't leave until the last person's going. Like, I never know when to go home. That's like one of my faults. But it's like, it was a really good time. It was good weather. It was a good show. I love when we can all like get together like that too, and just have like a fun casual moment. I heard you guys had a lot of fun with Trent in Boston too. I had a lot of FOMO with that. How is Trent? He's non-existent in our lives now.
No, I know. We talked about that a lot on stage. I will say.
Did you?
But it was funny because our Boston show, we were on stage for almost like 2.5 hours because and I think like time got away with us a little bit because we did bring Trent on stage.
Of course, yeah.
It was our intro, and then we had Trent do his surprise Santa,
of course,
entrance, and he came on stage, and then we were talking for a while, and we were talking about him not being around as much, and now he's in Florida, and we don't get to see him, and he doesn't answer our texts, and the whole thing. And I keep my phone on stage solely also like for time checks and whatnot. And I like peeked and looked, and I was like, oh, Trent, like not to kick you off stage here, but we gotta keep the show moving.
Gotta go. You gotta get out of here.
We gotta keep moving here.
Yeah.
But no, we did have a lot of fun. He seems he seems like he's having a lovely time living in Florida. I mean,
I bet he is.
What's not to like, really?
What is not
with
to
his
like? No,
setup
I'm
down there
happy
now.
for him. We we joke around, we give Trent shit, but
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. But I do miss
He's got
our,
a nice permanent tan now, you know?
Oh my God, I know. I'm just that. I think I'm most jealous
Yeah.
of that. Anybody that ends up moving to Florida, I'm like, all right, well
it's
now
just
you're
like-
perfect skin forever.
It's so crazy because we now not only like Rhea and I sometimes live in our own world of, oh my God, I just got married, she's getting married. We're like everybody growing up, but then you see the outside and think about everybody else, and there's a lot of happy moments.
There's a lot going on right now, especially in the Barstool world. Like in terms of growing up.
Seriously, the video. I don't know if everyone listening has seen it, but you can see it on the like Viva La Stool, like the socials and stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe Foreplay. But we have like a in-house band. I don't know if people realize that at Barstool.
Called Pup Punk.
Punk.
Yeah.
And Maddie's looking at me. She's like, I had no clue. You guys,
didn't
we have
know
a band.
this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We have a band.
Well, you're about to love it.
They're
Let me tell you about
amazing.
it. It's
Robbie Fox, Roan, Frankie Borelli, Nick Hamilton,
Caroline,
PFT. Caroline has the voice of an angel. Like
she's a beautiful singer.
She has a beautiful singing voice.
So their whole thing is that they cover like punk rock songs.
Yeah,
so
like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like that whole vibe.
So think like, Frankie sings Freebird at one point.
Yeah.
They do Green Day. They do,
and it
they do a lot of
totally like
different
100% started as more of like a fun haha joke, and then like became really serious, and they actually do concerts and like
they're on Spotify. They have a couple songs.
No, they have some originals. They're
Pup
great.
Punk.
We already know like just musically they're all actually very, very talented.
Yes.
And they posted a video from a rehearsal session that they had a few weeks ago when they were starting to like make some announcements, and Frankie Borelli is having a baby and Roan is having a baby. Twins.
Yes,
Roan's having
he's
twins.
having twins. Yep.
That we are now aware of, but the video was like Frankie revealing to everybody that he's going to be a dad in April. And everyone like freaks out. It's so cute. They're all excited. And then an hour later, it's still in the rehearsal session, Roan's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, because Frankie's line was, I don't know what I'm more nervous for, this show or becoming a dad in April.
Yep.
And like an hour later, Roan goes, I don't know what I'm more nervous for.
Yeah.
Or being a dad in April. Like they're on the same timeline. And they all freak out. They're like, oh my God. And then he's like, and I'm having twins.
Yep,
Frankie almost falls over.
I know.
It's such a wholesome,
it's so
cute
exciting
moment. Like that
It's
they're,
so nice.
babies. So exciting.
It's just good stuff. I am blessed enough to have a million babies in my life right now. Every single one of my friends either has had a baby or is pregnant right now or just had a baby or whatever. So I have like 10 nieces and nephews at the moment. But so we heard about Frankie at dinner. We went to like a random dinner and Frankie was in town and we were just like, let's go grab something to eat. And he came with us and it was like, oh, how fun. Hadn't seen him in forever. And he was like, by the way, I've got news. And we were like, oh, what? And he said what it was. And I, for some reason, was not expecting it. I screamed bloody murder in the restaurant. I went, what? Yeah. Like in the middle of a nice restaurant. Like everybody was like, what the fuck? People were not loving it. But I was so shocked, so excited. And then same with Roan at another like random dinner. He was like, hey, by the way, guy, like after a couple drinks, like, by the way, this is what's going on. Can't believe it.
No,
it's just
great.
Crazy. It's also
and
weird
twins?
to see twins is nuts. Twin boys too.
Yeah.
It's weird to see everyone. It's not weird, I shouldn't say. That's not the right word, but it's exciting and so different to see everyone here starting to have those moments because I feel like I have other friends who had those moments or are in the middle of having them, and it's kind of like on the way out, and so it's almost like ushering in a whole new thing. And it's just good vibes all around for everybody whenever stuff like that's going on. There's always something to talk about. There's always something to get excited about. And parties and celebrations and excuses to have glasses of champagne.
Exactly.
And, I know we both are always looking for an excuse to have a glass of champagne.
Oh, 100%. My friends it's mixed, which is really nice.
Yeah.
More of Joe's side are starting to have kids. And my close friends, we had a couple weddings this year, but we're not fully at baby stage yet.
Right.
Cherish
we
have
time. Cherish the time.
Thoughts about some, shortly. But no, I there are moments where I'm like, you get like the bouts of baby fever, and then I'm just like, okay, I need a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get a dog.
Yeah. If you have baby fever right now, you just need a dog. But
Yes.
it really is true. Like it's like dominoes. Like once the
Yeah.
first person falls, it goes on like that. And it's not that, I don't know if it's like it happens by coincidence, or if it just makes people more confident to move forward in their life because someone they know is already in the middle of doing it.
Totally.
So it just always goes like that. But how exciting, you know?
I think it's like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
But I think there's also sometimes when you see certain people that like you either grew up with or like whatever, when they're like and because it's just sometimes starting a family can feel scary and daunting and like, am I ready for that? And then sometimes you see people you grew up with or whoever, and I'm like, look at their beautiful family. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Right. You're like, oh, that freak has a good family. I'm going to be fine.
If they can do it, I'm going to be great.
100%. Yes, 100%. Right. All you need is a little confidence. And if you're like, this guy down the street is like, you know,
right. You're like,
wow, his kids are geniuses.
Right.
Clearly,
exactly.
I could be okay.
Well
here.
evolved, great, you know, so
for sure.
No, it's exciting. And it's that time of year, like around the holidays, I feel like is always a big announcement.
Oh yeah.
Time.
Oh yeah. Because all the family gets together.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody feels left out about like, you know, that's also where it's so tough. And I know that a lot of my friends have struggled with this, like announcing their pregnancies in one way or another, but like telling parents if they don't live by both parents. And I have a bunch of friends who live all over the country and they all love it, but they don't necessarily live in the same places as either of their parents.
Right.
And so then it's like, well, do I tell which parents do I tell first? Are they ever going to compare notes? Are they going to feel salty about it? Like it's always that kind of worry for some reason. But I would think that like people just be excited about the news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't worry about those small parts.
Totally.
But yeah,
I agree.
Exciting stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but right. So anyway, my point of even saying all that is that holidays are a great time to get everybody together and just get it all done at once, and nobody's feelings are hurt because everybody found out at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And you know, it's always fun to like have those Christmas events and Christmas parties. My friends do a holiday fancy drinks night.
Wait, I
That's
saw
what we
that. Did you
always
just do it recently?
So yeah, that was like our
mini
mini version because not all of
so
us are
cute.
here right now.
Yeah.
So it's actually tomorrow.
Fun.
It's, you know, we get dressed up, we go to the
Amazing.
Upper East Side, go get some martinis.
Let's
and,
go. Let's go.
You know,
I'm doing it. That's
thing.
the best. That's the best. That sounds right up my alley. The my friends and I are doing a little cooking class on Friday. Not
so
sure
fun.
we've done a cooking class before. We like made pasta. We did like a pasta making class. I think this one might also be Italian food, but maybe Christmas themed. And so we're doing that. And then going back to my one friend's house for cocktails and snacks.
Amazing.
So that'll be lovely. It's just a good time to get with family and friends, you know?
That it is.
It really is.
That it is. I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I am like fighting for my, you know, now and I've just been talking a lot about jokingly getting older and whatnot, but
Always. It's literally all I can talk about these days.
Slept
Like
wrong on my shoulder or something. I don't know what I did. I'm a side sleeper, which I know is bad.
Same.
But I must have slept weird, and my shoulder fucking kills. I was like, like trying to like, I'm like, what the hell did I do? I went to one friggin' core power yoga class last week and was sore and was fine. So I'm like, it can't be from that because now it's
a week
Tuesday,
later.
a week later. It's like it's not that. I was like, I must have just literally slept weird on my shoulder, and it's
maybe you were on it like all night. I'm the same thing. I'm a side sleeper, and my shoulders, this whole area of my body is so fucked up. Like I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to retrain myself. Because I can't on my back. I'm so uncomfortable.
I had
on my
a
back.
terrible night's sleep because I was trying to sleep on my back because I literally could not turn on my side because my shoulder hurt.
The worst.
I just like kept waking up being like, oh my God. Like I just like my body was waking myself up to be like, okay, turn over. I was like, I can't.
No, it's like you really can't. That is all I talk about lately is how like suddenly my bones are so brittle and like I can't even stand up out of a chair without my knees cracking. It's like I'm 1,000 years old in one day. Like so when did this happen? I'm not sure.
I know, I'm like I can't.
But it's a nightmare. But I know for those who are watching Surviving Barstool, me and Rhea crushing it. But there was a point early on when we were doing one of the first episodes, we do a challenge where we use a slingshot.
Yeah.
And I was a slingshot person because I'd used it before.
When
so
you
I knew.
Fucking crushed it.
Thank you so much. But I knew how to do it, and I knew what kind of aim you needed and what kind of power you needed. But I was putting my whole body on the ground.
Yeah.
To
You
pull
were
it back
you were
all the way.
completely horizontal.
I was really into it. And you want to win. I'm very competitive. But in doing that, something about my neck right here, I don't know what I did in that moment. And in the moment, I was completely fine. Straight adrenaline, didn't feel anything, whatever. The second it ended, I'm jumping around, I'm celebrating. All of a sudden, it's on fire.
Oof.
And I was like, oh my God. And so for 2 days, like the rest of that day and the following day, I could barely move. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like drop out of this competition. Like, this is insane. And then I took just a bunch of a leave, and then I was okay. But it's like never in my life have I had like an issue like that. I was like, all I'm doing is this. Like, what am I, how could it be so bad? I did solid core in preparation for this.
It's all connected.
The hell. It is all connected. And so, that was although everybody on that cast is on the older side. Most people on that cast are on the older side. So everybody was hurting. Everybody was hurting.
I was just talking
throughout the whole time.
Yeah, I was talking to Rhea about it on Monday of just being like, you guys, some of these physical challenges, like even just the jousting, like everybody is legitimately getting hurt.
The jousting. Hated it.
No, one of my favorite things was Whitney last week was talking about that challenge with the slingshots. He's like, I look over, Kelly's completely on the ground. She's got the power. I'm like, I got no power.
He was crazy. Well, that was the thing. Like, I only knew that you really had to yank that because I had done it before. And I'm sure somebody else could have done it, but I wanted the shine and I knew I could do it.
Right.
So it worked out.
And you nailed it.
Thank you. But yeah, ripped up my shoulder in the process. Now sleeping, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just that. We're going to have to start drinking more milk, I guess. Does that help at this point in life? If I start drinking whole milk again? Ugh.
I don't know.
Did your parents used to force you to drink whole milk all the time?
No. Like, we had a choice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No choices in my
we were like a 1%.
Oh,
family.
Interesting. Okay. We switched to that much later in life, but my whole, it was whole milk, it's for your bones. You have to drink it even if you're eating spaghetti, like gross, No, I'll still drink it, but
we were not really a big milk family.
A big milk fam.
Granted, I talk about sometimes my memory is shit. So like, you could call my mom and she'd be like, "What? You drank milk till you were 12?" Like, I'd be like,
what are you
did I?
about?
Like, I don't know. But from what I recall, it was not. At
the very least, it sounds like no long lasting milk trauma. No.
Definitely was like the kid that wanted all the drinks that were not good for you.
Of course,
sugary, the high sugary juices and chocolate milk and
Gatorade Rain.
All those.
That was my favorite shit. I loved Gatorade Rain. We used to mix it with Malibu rum.
You know what I used to love to have that I feel like I rarely see anymore is what's it called? It's like the sparkling Orangina.
Ooh, like Sunkissed or whatever, but
but it was in those.
I think you're right, Orangina.
It's
in like glass
it was
bottle.
In the bottles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that felt cool because it was like, am I drinking a beer or a wine cooler? No,
lightly carbonated beverage.
Orangina.
Yes.
Love it.
Yep.
I love a carbonation. I love a bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do I. And Gia is the opposite. She is no carbonation. No. Like nothing. Or for her whole life. Sodas.
My brother's that way too. My brother does not like soda, does not like carbonated anything.
Nope.
He'll
have
sparkling
water. It's just,
everything.
Champagne, it's like, no.
Yeah. I got a fridge full of sparkling water. I do the whole thing. I'm fully addicted to bubbles.
Love a sparkling water.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Okay, let's jump into some topics. We're going to do topics. We have voicemails as well for our Pop Corner.
Fabulous.
Which is yet to be sponsored by Pop Corner. Just know, Pop Corner, if you're listening.
Oh, Pop Corner, come through.
It's right here. It's right here for you.
I know, it's right. Pop Corner for Pop Corner.
It's literally right here for you.
And they're a delicious snack. Perfect.
Yeah, they
nutritious,
are.
Single bites. Like 90 calories a bag or something.
Yep.
Don't give them a free ad.
No, well, sometimes you got to
to
slide a little in to get their attention. No, Kelly's right. Kelly's right.
Just lure them in a little bit.
Exactly.
No more than that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We have a little bit of another. This is like our third Bravo update in like 3 episodes because every single time we talk about one of these guys, 30 minutes later, something else comes out.
Yep.
So we were talking about Sandoval on Monday. His girlfriend posted another story. I don't know, misunderstand. I don't know what the hell is going on there.
I don't know either.
And it appears Allie is moving out of her house with James. We have the title for Wicked Part 2. It is not called Wicked Part 2. It's called Wicked for Good.
For Good.
Aaron Rodgers' new Netflix show has come out. It's called Enigma, of course. And he's talking about his family. There's some quotes that have been picked up by the tabloids. Timothée Chalamet went on Theo Von's podcast, and it's just a good time. It's
He's
just,
a
you know,
star.
it's just Timothy.
Shocker,
being
he's a
Timothy.
star. Yeah.
And we have the brand new trailer for White Lotus. And like we said, we'll get into Pop Corner as well. So let's jump into the topics. Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. When you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better, and it, of course, makes for the perfect gift. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I have been looking at tickets on Game Time. There's some Eagles games coming up at the end of the season, some home games. Would love to get to a game. We have seen some amazing Game Time Picks deals for great seats. You can also, I know what I'm excited for. I've been talking to my sister about it.
Yeah.
Is Gracie Abrams.
Oh, I'm very excited
Going
about
back
Gracie
on
Abrams.
another leg of her tour. She's got some dates over the summer. I'm already have that circled. So just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Pick setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICKS, CHICKS, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Okay. Victoria, James Sandoval. Woo-hoo. What a horrifying combination.
That is a terrible
Holy.
comment. But to be fair, they're both in the news at the same time for bad things.
For bad,
so.
I know, exactly.
As usual.
Yes. Victoria, Tom Sandoval's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, I don't know which one it is right now.
I don't know either.
She posted another story from what we talked about on Monday. She said, Tiger never changes his stripes. He loves the best friends.
Wow, I totally understand now. It was very dramatic.
Right.
And I was
Very
ready to bring out my torches and pitchforks again.
Right.
But I also thought to myself, like, duh, bitch. Of
Yeah,
course.
no, it's, yeah. So this news story said, I would like to sincerely apologize for my previous post. I had a true misjudgment in a situation. Tom did not do anything. From my own personal trauma and experiences, hearing false accusations about him all the time clouded my judgment and got the best of me. Please respect him and know he's actually been the most supportive partner. The internet can be harsh sometimes, and I'm learning how to block out the noise. Look, it's got to be tough.
But like,
It's
what
gotta be tough.
happened? What happened that she posted that first thing and then had to be like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Yeah,
it has
you
to
know
be
what?
something
She probably
huge.
gets crazy. My guess is she is constantly getting messages
Sure.
from people being like, hey, I was out last night and I saw Tom doing this, or my friend knows this person who knows this person who knows Tom, and Tom's been talking to this person behind your, like, just because they hate him so much.
Yeah.
I feel like.
For sure. But also too, I think that there's something to the fact of like, if you girl, what's her name? Victoria?
Yeah.
Victoria, if you're gonna date
You
Tom,
girl.
you girl, what's your name?
Yeah.
Victoria, if you're gonna date Tom Sandoval, you have to know that everyone on earth is gonna say that he's cheating behind your back already. Like, you have to
Totally.
have the ultimate trust to even consider dating him, because everyone always is going to be sending you messages. You're going to see stuff. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And if you blindly trust him, like you're going to have to, then you'll block out the noise. But if you don't trust him because you think that there are things that he's keeping from you or whatever, then you can't be in a relationship with him, because he might be two-timing you in one way or another. But like, what are we doing here? And you can't post a story like that, sending all the torches and pitchforks back for Tom Sandoval, and then be like, sorry, y'all, I was just crazy last night. Like, it's no big deal. Like, that to me doesn't add up. Like, I almost thought that I'm sorry message, I was like, is she in some sort of did he make her post that? Like, I don't know. Like, it almost knowing Tom Sandoval, I'm like, he probably guilted her into posting that I'm sorry story, and then like made up a fake fucking lie about how whatever she heard's not true and she's being gaslit. Like, that's the Tom we know. So Victoria, if you're not thinking along those lines, then I don't know what to do or how to help you, but I say head for the hills regardless.
I know. I think
Where there's smoke, there's fire always.
Yeah. There's definitely there's definitely a world where Tom, whatever situation was happening, Tom talked his way out of it.
For
but
sure.
There's also like, I just can't imagine if you know yourself as a person and know that in relationships you have trust issues that you're like, Tom Sandoval's the guy for me.
Not a fucking chance. Like I'm somebody with trust issues. I wouldn't even go near Tom Sandoval.
God.
Like not in a million years. Because how do you ever believe him? Everybody has watched him lie. Right, exactly. But beside the fact that he has drama and whatever and all the Rachel and all that Ariana shit, we've watched him lie, manipulate, and gaslight for however many seasons of Vanderpump Rules, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's who he is. And there is, some truth to the fact that when you're on a show like that, you kind of play it up for the cameras and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But after as long as they've been on, like, that's who they are. You know what I mean? Like, that's who they have become, whether they like it or not. And so unless he's done some big reversal and he's in, like, behavioral therapy of some kind, like, I don't foresee Tom Sandoval being like a trustworthy guy that's not worthy or that you don't have to have your guard up around a little bit,
For sure. And on the other side with the other half of that combo is James Kennedy. And Allie has apparently moved out for the time being. TMZ posted saying that James was spotted helping Allie load her personal items into her car. Now TMZ has learned the couple is currently spending time apart. In photos taken Sunday outside their San Fernando Valley home, James appeared somber as he helped Allie carry a laundry hamper, suitcase, and other belongings to her car.
Damn.
Sources close to the couple tell TMZ, despite the recent situation, James and Allie are still together romantically as of now. Allie, however, has temporarily relocated to an Airbnb nearby where she plans to stay with her family who recently arrived in town to support her. We're told Allie is still processing the situation and hasn't made any long-term decisions about the relationship. For now, she's leaning on her family for support as she navigates the holidays and decides on her next steps.
So first, this makes me sad because I do like James and Allie, and I hate that all this shit happened. I think James has issues clearly that need to be addressed, and I just wish none of that happened. Second, I think we can confirm she was definitely moving out because you don't just bring your laundry basket unless you're moving out.
No,
so
totally.
Helping her carry the laundry basket down to the car, I think, is the is what tells us what's really going on. But I'm sad. I'm sad for these two. I really like Allie and James. I like Allie a lot, I should say. And I think James has his pros and cons. I think he's very funny. But clearly he's not okay.
No, it's
what was the report?
It's a situation that it's hard to justify. And from the, what Rhea and I were saying is too, from the outside, it's like you read the plain, straight to the facts situation in the police report of like, woman was lifted and thrown to the ground. It's like, okay, well, we're not in their relationship. We don't know what he's saying to her, what they say. But when you hear that, it's like you just jump to, okay, yeah, she should not be with him. That is terrible. So I'm just glad that she is separating herself for the time being. She'll have friends and family with her, and maybe they will help guide her in what one would think is the right direction.
Sure. I think there are two options here. I think Allie leaves and moves on and realizes that if this man is capable of pushing her to the ground, then what else is he capable of? Yeah. Or this is rock bottom for James, and he has to revamp his entire lifestyle. He has to become sober. He has to go to.
Already supposed to be sober?
I thought he was, but and then if he was sober pushing her to the ground,
I just like,
then you got to get on medication or something.
I don't know.
You got to do something.
Still,
That's
I
crazy.
just really thought that he was already. I thought he had already stopped drinking. But
I
don't know.
have no idea.
I don't know.
You know what though? But doesn't it?
He kind of sinks in and out of it.
Yeah. Isn't his dad like Isn't his dad kind of like that? Like he's a club guy. Like I feel like I remember that one episode like forever ago where James went to go see his dad, and his dad had like a DJ setup.
Yeah, his dad gives me like a major like PK vibes.
Very much so.
Similar.
Yes.
Like
Like
just scenarios.
a little bit of like maybe a club party, like a British club partier that is like older but still kind of doing that shit.
Yeah,
so I wonder
yeah.
if James is whatever. But regardless, he needs,
No.
if this is all what happened, and it sounds like it is, then either way, I feel like he needs to take steps towards some sort of rehabilitation, whether it's like, behavioral, like I said, same with Tom Sandoval. They should just hop on the bus together, scoop them all up and bring them over there and like make them do,
and now it's just like the show, like they're done on the show. They're like, the show is over. It's like, they're not, like, get your life together.
Get your life together.
Like, you're not.
Do you think they're all acting out? Because, well, I guess the Tom thing isn't really Tom, but
no.
Do you think they're all acting out because the show's over and they announced like
it's
whole new cast coming?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you're James Kennedy specifically, do you think that you're panicked about not going back on Vanderpump Rules?
100%.
You think so?
100%, because I think that from the way it ended, from what we were shown, it felt like things were going well for James.
Absolutely.
And James is like, oh, now I'm the number one guy in the group. He's doing the whole thing. He's got Allie. She's a sweetheart.
Yep.
He seems to be like moving in the right direction. So I think selfishly for him, you do want the show to keep coming back, because now he's like painted as a good guy. Like he's like he's taking
all of a sudden
he's taking a different role. Now the show's over.
Yep.
And he's not getting that outside validation that he was getting from strangers.
Right. Exactly. Right. Now he's like washed up James Kennedy, which is, he's still got the DJ thing going on. But again, like something like this, it's just, with him and Allie can really put a wrench in your stuff.
Some of his gigs I saw were getting canceled.
Damn.
You lose jobs when you do this.
Of
like,
course you do. That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you? I don't
Yeah.
understand how you can make that kind of mistake. Like, it's just. I want to have empathy or sympathy, whatever it is, but it's very hard to.
It's real.
It's nearly impossible.
I was
going to
say, it's you're like.
All I can say is like you're sick, you know, like that's the only thing you can say that isn't like fuck this, fuck this guy for throwing a woman on the floor. Like, what do you mean? Like,
it's just disgusting behavior.
It really is.
Rakuten is the best way to save lots of money this holiday season, because you can stack holiday sales and deals on top of cash back to maximize your savings at over 3,500 stores. Stores will be at the highest cashback rates of the year, all the way up to 15%. Cashback at some of your favorite brands through the holiday season. Here's how it works. Your favorite stores like Macy's, Sephora, and Urban Outfitters pay Rakuten to send them shoppers, and Rakuten passes on a part of that money to members via PayPal or check. Get cash back at hundreds of stores across every single category, including fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, and so much more. Rakuten also finds you the best deals, sales, and coupons. They do the work of searching for coupon codes so you save time and money. Plus, membership is free and it's easy to sign up. Join the 17 million members who are already saving. Start all of your holiday shopping at Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app to start saving. Today, your cash back really adds up. Okay, moving on to more exciting news. Wicked. Now, just when you think... It was funny. I was like in my head, I saw Ariana's post. And I was like, just when you think things are wrapping up for the year,
no.
She was like, bam, Wicked for good, November 21st, 2025.
That's right. I'm so pumped that they did all of the shooting at once, and that the movies are coming out one year and then another one the next year.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a really good way to do this 2-part movie.
I wish it was like 6 months apart.
Me too. But it is like light at the end of the tunnel, you know? Like, it's
is,
not like,
but, I mean,
let's see how the first
them?
one went. Like, you know how Dune, it took forever for the second Dune to come out and like all that. No chance of it getting delayed or whatever. They just did it all. And and we're just waiting now.
I know. I just got to imagine that as much as they love it and it was a great project and they're hopefully going to be awarded for it.
Sure.
It's just a lot to keep talking about for like a whole nother year plus.
There's
just,
especially when it's been their whole
press again,
right? Especially when it's been their whole lives for the last 2 or 2 or 3.
Pretty much.
God, it's just a lot of Wicked.
Right. So then you just jump back into it. I don't think you do. That's why she's literally Glinda.
That's why she's Glinda. Yeah, she just is.
I don't think you do step out of it.
She just is.
Yeah. Did you watch the
Peacock behind the scenes?
Yes, but also
that's the only one I
Actors
watched.
on Actors with her
yes,
and
I did.
Paul Mescal.
I thought it was fantastic.
I did too. I normally don't watch like the full.
Yeah.
Because they're sneaky. They're long.
They're an hour long.
They're
almost
like
always.
45 to an hour long almost always. And I always see I see clips and whatnot. But that one I actually sat down and watched the whole thing.
Yep.
And
they were both
they were great.
So they were so eloquent, and I mean, you know, Paul we already expected. We've seen him.
Yeah.
I think we've seen him in an Actors on Actors before, maybe, or another like interview style where he's talking about film, and you can tell that he's passionate and that he's a sensitive guy and that he's an artsy guy.
Yeah.
But him with Ariana and the questions she was asking and also the questions she was answering, I was so impressed by her, and I feel like this movie not only has transformed her career in a certain way, it's also like she's kind of grown up. You know what I mean? Like I don't think of Ariana as like, oh, some like whatever. She's got boyfriends. She's this. She's that. Like I kind of used to think of her like that, and I always have loved her music and loved her, but I always thought like, all right, there's an element to it that comes with any pop star, really. But now I find myself with just a overwhelming amount of what's the word? Not impressed. Pride.
Admiration?
Overwhelming amount of, I can't think of the right word. Admiration?
Yeah.
I don't know. Admiration, maybe.
Yeah,
is the
it'll
word.
come to you.
Yeah,
I think like
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with Ariana Grande. Is really that's a long-winded way of me to say
no,
that.
That is
very impressed.
So fair. I think you know, even in one moment during the interview, Paul had said, you know, something along the lines of, oh well, you know with other movies, and she was like, this is like kind of my first big thing.
She's like, this is my big break.
She's like, I played myself in Don't Look Up,
right?
And of course, you know, the Nickelodeon acting when she was younger, but this is such a different ball game, and she just is so good that I can't wait to see like what projects and movies she does after this. But even in that, she was joking about the press and everything. She's like, we're insufferable. I know it. And it's just like, it's crazy because if people were getting, I will never be sick of it personally.
Me neither. I love it.
I love it. It does not bother me one bit, but
Same.
I know that some people were feeling a little fatigued by it all.
For sure, yeah.
Towards the end of, the last couple of weeks. And
people always
just get ready because it's going to start up again in just a few more months.
And Fran, I'm going to go ahead and say I think it's going to be even worse because for those who don't know, Wicked the play, Act 2 is much more emotional.
It is,
and much more intense. Like obviously, Defying Gravity is the big moment of part one, but yeah, buckle up, because there's going to be twice as many tears. I think.
Yeah, and I think there's like I've seen a lot of TikToks about the Dorothy casting, which is so interesting to me that we like don't know
who it is. Yeah, but
it already happened.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like it's done.
I heard rumors that it was that either one, they show Dorothy, but they don't actually show her face, so it doesn't really matter.
So it's not like really.
So it's like
person, like she's not like a speaking role or anything.
Right. I've heard that, and I've also heard it's some other girl.
But she doesn't really do much in the play.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
I also heard it's this one girl who I don't know her name, but everybody on Twitter seemed to know who she was. They're like, oh, it could be her. And she's like a younger, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I don't know her.
Her name is,
it's like this younger girl. And she looks, she'd be a great Dorothy, it seems.
Her name is Alicia Weir.
Yes.
She is an Irish actress and singer, best known for her leading roles in the films Matilda the Musical and Abigail. So she's young, very cute.
She is.
I think people said that maybe she was like at one of the premieres
She's been
or something.
To all of them or something. That was what it was.
People were really trying to put
she's
together
always at the premieres, and so people are assuming that she's involved. She's a little Irish girl.
She's so cute.
I love her. She's really so cute. Oh my God, she was Matilda the Musical.
Yeah, but she looks really young.
Wicked Little Letters. I knew I had seen her before. Wicked Little Letters. She does look really young. How old is she even? They don't even say she's in. She just got in Forbes 30 under 30. Did you see that? She's 15.
God. She's 15.
Oh my God, she's so young.
Wow, she's
so anyway,
young.
People were saying that right because she was she I guess had been at a few of the premieres, which I do think is interesting because why would she be at any?
Yeah. Well, they really did such a good job like with certain things, and I mean, we didn't talk about it when the movie came out because we were trying to avoid the spoiler. So, spoiler if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler.
Spoiler if you haven't seen it. I feel like it's been enough time now.
Yeah.
But even with Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel being at the premiere, it's like nobody kind of blinked an eye thinking because it's like, of course.
That completely shocked me. Completely. And I sobbed my eyes out. And then I was so excited.
Right. Then they put out interviews afterwards being like, okay, like on the red carpet saying, this won't be released until after the premiere and people see it that you guys have this role, but they've really kept that under wraps pretty well. So I think anything for Wicked for Good, like they've done a good job.
The whole team, you know, the amount of people that worked on Wicked, the project, like just not even just the actors and actresses, which there are so many of them as well, but the amount of behind the scenes people, especially to make Oz, like all of that, whatever. I imagine it's a real bear to try to keep everybody to keep their mouth shut.
Totally.
But it seems like everybody is just so passionate about it that they're willing to, they also want to wait to surprise everyone, which I think is fantastic. Like it really is, it's such an exciting moment in, you know, musical / pop culture history come together. And I think it's fantastic.
I agree. I love that. I love that they gave it a name too, like Wicked for Good and not just
Wicked Part 2.
Wicked Part 2.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So I think that's
great. Now it's Wicked and Wicked for Good.
Yeah.
Oh, so
which
good.
Just flows
oh my God.
so nicely.
I'm already tearing
I know.
up.
I can't wait to like watch Part 1 at home and then go straight to the movie theater for Part 2.
Exactly. I did that with Dune as well.
Yeah.
I keep referencing Dune. It's like the other big movie I saw this year.
Right. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. His new Netflix show is out right now. It's called Enigma because God knows the man's a freak. Mm-hmm. And he sorry.
No,
like
so
he just
true.
is.
Yeah. So
and
true. Beyond.
It's really one of the first times he's talked about his family life. And there's one part. Noah, if I play this, am I gonna get in trouble? The clip from the show? No. Okay. I'm playing it because I'm literally just gonna play it into the mic.
Play it. It's worth playing. You need to hear his tone.
You need to hear like the way he says it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
A lot of times when I became real famous, where I heard from a lot of people, including family members, where it was like, your life is too big. Like, we need you to be smaller. Be smaller. Like, don't talk about your life. And that always, like, it always hurt me because it definitely changed the people around your circle.
The dramatic music.
It can be intoxicating, the fame and notoriety. So definitely relationships changed after that. Friendships, family. It wasn't like I was super duper close with everybody in the family. I was close with my little brother. But in actuality, it goes back to stuff in college, stuff post-college. And I was quiet about it because that's the way to do it was just don't talk about it publicly. And what did they do?
The Green Bay Packers quarterback's name is all over the Bachelorette this season. His younger brother Jordan is in the final 2, and Jordan revealed their family estrangement to millions of viewers.
They go on a bullshit show and leave 2 empty chairs. They all agreed this was like a good thing to do, to leave 2 empty chairs at a stupid dating show that my brother just went on to get famous. His words, not mine. Did he end up winning? That was during the season I was never asked to go to, not that I would have gone.
Saying fame can change things.
I don't like this at all. I don't think this is anyone's business.
And then when I started looking into other religions around,
So this jumps around a little bit.
Resistance, you know, doing things that compared to what I grew up in would be considered an alternative lifestyle. Is there hope for reconciliation? I say, yeah, of course. Of course. I don't want them to fail, to struggle.
That's basically that is like the jumped around version of some of the things he says. But of course, people are jumping on him, you know, talking about Jordan and going on The Bachelorette, stupid dating show, the leaving the chairs empty.
Fran.
He went on just to be famous, and then he was like, he did win. And they are still together.
And they're still together. And he did, honestly, it jump-started his career as well. So that you can't lie about that. But I am shocked that he brought this up. Shocked. Because when Jordan Rodgers went on The Bachelor, went on The Bachelorette for JoJo's season, we all knew that that's basically how he was advertised. It was, oh, Jordan Rodgers, that's Aaron Rodgers' brother. Like that was the only thing anybody would talk about the whole time. I remember all that going home with the family scene, talking about how they miss Aaron.
Oh my God.
At the time, it seemed like
empty chairs were so dramatic.
They were so dramatic. At the time, it seemed very much like it was almost as if he abandoned the whole family, and it was almost like a cry out for like, we still love you.
Totally.
Like
it felt like
speak.
a public plea of like, hey, we're all here. We're still family. We miss you.
Yep.
If Aaron wanted to be here, we'd love to have him.
Yep.
Kind of thing. And I don't know. At the end of the day, it really does feel like he started to just have some different different beliefs, changed his life, and that happens in a family. Sometimes you like he also at a different point referenced his parents' Christian beliefs and how like he started to question some things, and I think there is a little bit of a, you know, not to play devil's advocate a little with how Aaron sees it, but he probably challenged his parents a little bit, but then also like tried to keep the peace as much as possible because his dad, the last time his dad was interviewed was for like that Aaron Rodgers. I have like an eyelash in my eye that's driving me nuts.
I hate that. I get that happens to me all the time.
That he thought everything was fine between them. Like it was like, oh no, it wasn't until, because that was that big quote. It was like, it wasn't until Olivia Munn that like things got bad.
Right, and then all of a sudden, right. And that's how she got all the blame, by the way, for like breaking up their family, which I don't necessarily think she deserves all of that blame.
Totally, and he kind of prefaced it as like there were things way earlier than that maybe he just didn't vocalize, didn't actually have the discussions about, where maybe his parents thought everything was fine. It wasn't. And like he definitely joked that he's maybe hasn't made the right choices when dating. He's like, which you know, falls more on him.
I was gonna say
sometimes I feel, because
I think most
a
of the
lot
time
of these ex-girlfriends have moved on to be just fine, and Aaron Rodgers is sitting in a tank top and a charm necklace talking about like
The Bachelor.
his You know.
I think there
and
is,
he came out with some he came out with some different ideas. The whole he went full anti-vax. He said people dropped him out of his life after that. He said that was heartbreaking. So it's just he lost a lot of those connections.
It's really tough to be doing what he's doing and to keep everything as it was. And especially with your family, I feel like the only things that really break up a family like that are those kind of views, whether it's religious, whether it's political, or whatever.
I think they went all of them.
I think so.
I think they started to differ on all of them.
And sometimes there is truth to. Sometimes people are pushed away from their families by their significant others, or maybe they just are put. You know, who knows what he was saying to Olivia about his family? Like, who knows? But I'm shocked to hear him acknowledge this, just because he never has. Sounds like he's still very pissed about it. Sounds like they still don't really have a relationship. And I think that's a shame,
The Bachelorette
obviously.
thing really must have been a big thing.
Well, so he said, he was like, we had issues, whatever, but I kept it under wraps because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And then they had the fucking Bachelorette happen and all this, whatever. I wonder if that, I'm sure that made it worse, but I wonder if that was like a nail in the coffin to like any potential reconciliation for their relationship. Because as far as I know, they don't speak still, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Him and his whole family?
No.
It's just, it's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. People, sometimes you hate your family.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But I do sympathize with him in the way of seeing that on The Bachelorette.
Sometimes your family hates you.
Sometimes your family hates you. Seeing that on The Bachelorette, though, that had to have been hard. Like, that had to have sucked. I think we said it even at the time. Like, that whole thing had to have sucked.
Yeah, it was major, like, reality TV played up.
Totally.
Theatrics. But yeah, that's like, if you're someone who's trying to kind of keep your private life more private, which at the time it felt like he was doing, especially with like those high profile relationships that he had. And then like you see that, it's like,
it's super shitty. And also it's just painting him a bad light. Making him look as if he's abandoned his whole family and letting his family be like, please come home, Aaron, essentially.
But like Jordan and JoJo are at home being like, did he really need to like, did he really need to say like, my brother went on to be famous, his words, not mine?
Yeah, right.
Like you're like
chill.
all right, you know. And then for them to be like, oh, are you open for reconciliation? It's like, oh yeah, like never say never kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, you know, that was a bitchy thing to say.
Yeah,
so.
maybe don't start off with insults. Maybe let's move past the Bachelorette thing.
Yeah.
Although I do understand that. No, I probably wouldn't let that go either.
He feels like a little bit of a grudge holder.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where it's like, yes, he's moving on. He does his treatments
thing.
And his religion now, his different beliefs and his ayahuasca journeys and everything that he does.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wackadoo.
But he also, I feel like at the end of the day, he's like, but I don't forget.
Of course, right? Yeah, you think like he'd be born again, and this new like forgiveness is more than saying sorry. You know what I mean? Like it's just is more than saying sorry. I don't know why that came right to me, but it did. Effort, like it was subliminally buried in my brain. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I used to be. Obviously he's hot, not so much anymore, but like he was really hot for a while.
Yeah, fair.
Which is usually the only thing that gets me to like people when I don't know anything else about them. But yeah, I don't know. He seems lost to me, Aaron Rodgers. I think that he even doesn't know what he wants in his life. I think that he's trying all these new things, and he's putting on different hats, and he's just trying to maybe make a difference in some way or what he wants to do. But I think that he is struggling just from the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's
struggling
like the
on
name
a
of the
purpose.
show.
Yeah, he's struggling for a purpose. Enigma. Yeah,
He's
there
an
you
enigma.
go. But to call your own show Enigma is also like, all right, let's give it a break. I hope somebody else named it.
You're no anti-Aaron Rodgers.
I've never liked him.
You're not. He's not your guy.
He's not likable, and also like
he's
like. I think he's always been overrated. So in football,
as like a player, yeah.
I mean, it
well,
was
he's
always like
sucking the wind out of the place.
There's a whole
this
period
year.
there where like he was like in his prime, and people were like, he's better than Brady, and it's like, no, he's not.
Yeah. People love to love to say that.
No, for sure. This holiday season, elevate yours and your loved ones' wardrobes with some winter essentials from Roback. Whether you're in need of warm layers for yourself or buying gifts for others, Roback has what you need. The Roback Ravana fleeces are back with new colorways, and we couldn't be more excited. The fleeces are so cute. They have the best slightly cropped fit that hits right at the waist, and they are so cozy. So if you're going for a morning walk, just hanging, trust us when we say to try this fleece. Second, their super popular Tempo hoodie and jogger sets are back. The fabric is so soft and so comfortable. And they also have their Clarity hoodie and jogger sets, which is a cotton poly blend, so soft in the inside, with a cropped hoodie and joggers that are super flattering. Also, running errands, getting up, walking the dog, whatever you have to do. It's a perfect set for days on the go, and we will be wearing them all winter long. Roback is having their biggest sale of the year for 20% off the entire website for all customers. That's 20% off all hoodies, joggers, fleeces, and more. And there's no code needed. It's that easy. It's 20% off. Just head over to roback.com. That's RHOBACK.com. Timothée Chalamet went on Theo Von's podcast. Now, can't say I've literally ever watched a full Theo Von episode.
I haven't watched that many, to be honest. I always see the clips.
This was literally the first one, because when I saw it came up on my TikTok first, like a fan edit of this, and I was like, hold the phone. Timothée Chalamet is on Theo Von.
Yeah,
like I was like, this isn't like a AI combination of this happening. It's like, no, he really went on the show. He seems super happy to be there, / like a big fan of Theo and his show in general. He said that when he was filming this movie, that in like the makeup trailer or whatever, like somebody was always watching his podcast.
Oh,
so
how
like
funny.
He started to
I
like,
said, why couldn't they have been playing Chicks in the Office?
yeah, right.
Seriously. The fuck?
He started to really become a fan.
That's so funny.
And he went on to promote the new movie, and it just felt like, it was very funny to me, because it just felt like one big bit from like both of them. Like it just felt like a lot of times like Timothy was saying kind of funny things just to get a reaction out of Theo. Like there was one like he referenced that he's spending Christmas with his family. He said his sister just had a baby. His niece, Paulina, just had a baby.
I didn't. Wait, what?
Yeah, Paulina just had a baby. Yeah, like
oh my
summer?
God. I had
Pretty
no
recent,
Yeah, like kind of maybe early fall. Yeah, Paulina had a baby.
I had no idea. She looks unbelievable.
And Timothy was like, yeah, I don't really get to see her too much. She lives out there in France in one of those like communities in like a forest.
Oh yeah.
And no. Theo was like, oh really? And he was like, I'm fucking with you. Like he like lives.
No.
I bought it when he said it. I'm like, that's weird.
I do
was
think
like,
she
wow,
does,
how chic.
I do think she does live in France.
It is
But I
Paulina.
don't-
It's not. He doesn't have another sister.
No, it's Kelly. Is Paulina had a baby.
I had no.
She started
I feel
doing
crazy.
When she started doing press for the new season of Sex Lives, it was like She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a new mom." Like,
oh
it was,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
I'm looking on her Insta. She
Yep.
doesn't, I missed it entirely. I
No,
cannot
like,
believe I missed that.
Because
wow.
Theo was like, "Oh, do you have any pictures or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh, I think my sister." Like, Theo obviously has no idea his sister is like also famous and
Right,
like an
of course.
actress. And,
I
like,
don't think Theo had any idea about a lot of stuff.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
There was one
usually.
moment where I was like, Timothée Chalamet gave him like the biggest layup to ask him about Kylie Jenner if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I don't even think he knows that he's like dating.
right?
Yeah,
he probably
like, didn't
doesn't.
even
He probably
care.
doesn't.
Yeah.
I did see a lot of commentary on TikTok of some of like the clips and everything of them just going back and forth and comments of people being like, "What does he talk to Kylie Jenner about?" But
Truly.
if anything, it just made him seem just like a normal, cool New York City guy, which has always felt. It's just always the vibe that he's given off.
In my personal opinion, like
I'm sure Kylie finds that extremely attractive.
Absolutely. My judgment of Timothy has always been, and you hear like whispers of friends. I feel like I have heard a lot of stories of like, oh, I was friends with Timothy and whatever. My friend of friend went to school with him. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
feel like I hear those stories all the time. And that he's cool, and that he was like a fuckboy in college, and that he's just always been hot and always been into acting and like music and whatever, which is interesting. But what people always say is that he's funny and that he's just like kind of a bro. And so
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so kind of he's
He's
on
done the
this run.
football thing,
right?
The college football.
thing.
Now he's doing Theo Vaughn.
Exactly.
No,
and
this
to
is a
be
cool
honest,
press tour.
I think this press
Smart.
tour, I think he's
trying
doing
to get all the
it
straight guys.
came
out to
out.
see Bob Dylan. I
Yeah.
know.
Brittany Broski just interviewed him too. That came out
Shut
today.
up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's picking 'em right.
Yeah,
He's
really,
picking 'em
they
right.
They did a good job. No,
That's
it is.
hilarious.
It is smart. He is
for him.
crushing, and he is being very funny. It is
I just
funny, and
love
I feel
him.
like this is, it's a funny comparison. But I really do think that Kim dating Pete Davidson really opened the eyes of the rest of the family of like,
Sure.
ooh, maybe like the funny, cute guy is a good option.
Absolutely. Right. Like we don't have to look for these big
Yeah.
athletes all day long.
I mean,
like,
Chalamet is
we can date
obviously
an
like
actor.
the it guy of the
course.
Mr. Like that's an A-list hit actor right now.
Yeah.
And
for a while. I feel like Timothy's
the
been
DiCaprio
Kylie and him
right
have
now.
Kylie and him have been together for like over a year now. So
For sure. I remember the first like videos we saw, or no, they were at the Golden Globes
Yeah.
together. It was like the first time we maybe saw them together. Not
yeah,
even
they
on
went
the
to
carpet,
a concert too. I think
they went to Beyonce's,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was later.
Yeah.
That was later on, I think.
And now Kylie and it looked like Kylie and Chris went to like the premiere party
the premiere
in LA
for the
Yeah,
Bob Dylan movie.
yeah.
I did
think
walk
that's
by him
great.
the other day. I never said that.
You didn't say that.
You did?
Yeah.
Was he so cute?
Which is weird because I was talking about him.
How tall did he look?
Yeah.
He looked
About my height, maybe a little
not
taller.
like too tall.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh wow, he's tall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But like you weren't like he's short.
no.
Yeah.
And he had a nice he was walking into a car, so he had he was walking pretty fast.
right.
But it was just so random. It was like a block away from where I live, and I was looking for like a
amazing.
subway to go to. And
He was all over New York
amazing.
too because they did one of the screenings or premieres at the theater on 23rd.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah,
right
yeah,
there
yeah.
the other day. So he's one
Was
of
that
those
the one
guys
where
that
he
you'll
wore the-
literally always see. Like
Yeah.
he's just always running around New York and he's on
He's
his
always
own
around.
and he's a New York City guy, which just adds an effortless level of cool to you already.
Absolutely.
To be like
Yeah,
born and
absolutely.
raised New York.
him
you know?
being like, oh, I lived in. He was like, I had a normal life in the Lower East Side until I became famous.
Yeah.
Which when did he become famous, or like this level of like? When
I
did,
think
when did he
Call Me
stop
by Your
living
Name.
that
Call Me
life?
by Your Name was probably-
catapulted him.
Which he must have been like how old for that? Like
I think he was like
early
20.
20s?
Yeah, I think he
Damn.
was like 20. Let's see.
How old is he now?
he's 29, I think. 28, 29.
Call Me by Your Name came out in
20,
2017.
he's 28. So what's 2024 minus 2017?
So it was 7 years ago. He was 21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
That
for
is
doing
kind of
math.
wild. I
don't
feel
know.
like for some reason in my head he's always just been like really famous.
When he came on the scene like that, he was so like if you have not ever seen Call Me by Your Name
I saw
in your
him.
life, like not you specifically, no, I mean
Yeah.
like in general. I know you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No,
Oh, I thought that you said you had. Oh no,
no, I haven't.
You have to watch.
and then
I
now
know
it's like
that-
with the Army Hammer, it's like
right. Everybody, listen. This I'm gonna allow to separate the art from the artist only one time, and it's Call Me by Your Name. Like you get one, and that's the one I choose. And I think that movie is so well acted that everybody was like, holy shit, this kid can act. And then after that, it was just Oscar, like, you know, movie, not literally Oscars, but
He's
I
never
think that
won an Oscar now.
he was nominated for Call Me By Your Name. Let's see, Oscars, Timothy.
I feel like he'll definitely be nominated for Bob Dylan from just like I haven't seen it.
He was nominated for Best Actor in Call Me By Your Name. And I don't know who actually won that year.
Oh my God. Also, I keep Rhea and I just keep butchering. She was saying Paula. I was saying Pauline. His sister's name is Pauline.
Pauline.
His sister's name is Pauline.
Yeah.
Given her 19 different names.
What did I call her?
Her name is Pauline.
Did we just? I think we were just calling her Paulina.
Yeah, we were calling her Paulina.
Pauline is her name.
But her name is Pauline. But no, they
Chalamet.
actually just posted a People article because she does live in France. But Timothy like made that joke. But she has lived in she did live in like a artist colony before.
That's hilarious. So he's just
at
like
some
making
point.
it sound
like I think she
dramatic.
kind of like made it like him just making a joke about it.
That's amazing.
But I think she
of course she lives in France.
does
she's so
live-
chic. Oh, she's so
she
cool.
does live in Paris now.
Amazing. So
I believe.
cool.
Yeah.
I love her. I think that she just something about her. You know how people like you just look French. Like she looks French, and I know they are. They speak French and they are French, but she just is so cool.
Yeah.
I love The Sex Lives of College Girls. I have to watch the new season. I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm ready to binge. Not as good.
Yeah.
Bummer. Well, Renee's leaving, so I feel like the setup for that is probably
then
gonna
they
be
like
tough.
they bring in a new person, and it's just not quite the same. I don't know. It just wasn't. I feel like it's just not quite hitting.
Damn it.
hitting
Well,
as-
I've been saving
hitting
it
as
for
hard.
I've been saving it for a plane ride, so I'm gonna binge.
But no, it's all good for. I thought that was very funny that he did that, and there was a lot of good. Like he is a funny, charming guy. You know,
He absolutely is.
It's a good showing of that.
Absolutely.
I also feel like he really is an artist. Like he's really dedicated, which I actually appreciate. Like he seems to like really have a lot of respect for Bob Dylan. Which,
Totally,
like,
but and
He
also
really
like
does.
a very self-aware, not obnoxious.
yeah,
way.
he kept saying, being like,
You
I don't
know?
want to come off as like pretentious, like
Yeah,
that type
yeah.
of thing.
For
He's like, I
sure.
wasn't trying to be like that guy to like make all my friends listen to Bob Dylan and like do all this
Yeah.
stuff, like whatever. But
The fact
it's
that
like he
learned-
wanted everybody to have that.
I didn't know that,
appreciation.
by the way, that he like sang live for this movie. Like I
Yeah,
thought it
oh,
was
yeah.
all pre-taped, like, which is kind of
Did
crazy.
you watch that Apple Music interview, the one that Tommy
No,
sent
I
in
haven't
the chat
watched
the other
that.
day? It's so there's like an Apple Music interview between Timothy and I don't know who the guy is, and I apologize to
He's
him.
Zane.
I was gonna say, is it
Lowe.
Zane
Oh,
Lowe?
yeah,
he's like
Zane
the guy.
Lowe.
Who, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him for some reason, but so that interview, it was a little long. I think another one worth the watch. Timothy talking all about how he got into character, how he didn't really know Bob Dylan at all, and then sort of like really engrossed himself in it. And the thing that was important to him was trying to figure out like the tone and response to him at the time when he was famous or when he was just coming up, because it was such a quick rise to fame.
Yeah.
And honestly, like he didn't say this, but in my head I thought like, oh, that is kind of like Timothy. Like I think that he himself draws parallels between himself and Bob Dylan.
Right.
He also talks about how Bob, I guess, is a real contrarian. So like if you say you like something, he says he doesn't. And so he like, you know, he was worried about the performances, and like his agent was sending stuff to Bob, and he was like, wait, but don't send it and don't tell me you like it. Like I don't want him to say the opposite just because like
It is
it's
crazy. He still said he has never talked to Bob Dylan. Like they haven't ever spoken
Yeah,
to
right.
each other. Or
It
anything.
is
And that one
crazy.
tweet is like he's just still
The
like
one tweet-
fangirling.
I know. It
over
was
it.
just kind of like a thing where, and it made sense when he was talking about it because he said some of the other actors did have contact with like their, you know, the person they were playing.
Right.
But he had said like he really wanted to not have this like Hollywood
like spin
wash
take
of
of
Bob Dylan
Yep.
for the movie, that it really like showed all sides of him, and like he didn't really want to talk to Bob's family members because like as a he's like, as a family member, you know, sometimes you remember things differently, or you just kind of like you're trying to protect your family. You know, you remember the
Absolutely.
good stuff. Like you're not going to be telling the stories, some of the bad stuff. He's like, I want to get like all angles and all sides,
And that's
which I thought was very interesting too, because it's like he wasn't. He was studying like different documentaries that really did show some of Bob's different sides.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, in that Apple Music interview where he said like I wanted to capture what people thought of him at the time.
Yeah,
which I think is interesting.
He was saying he's like he wasn't that famous.
No, right,
yeah. Like what was the
completely,
perception of him? Like what did
completely.
people think of him? Basically,
Do you guys like Bob Dylan? Like
I honestly, I mean,
I've always been like a really big fan.
I could name a handful
I
of
wouldn't
songs,
say,
but
like,
I'm not a fan.
It's like
Yeah,
very
totally.
polarizing. Like I feel like I meet more people who are like, oh, like I hate his
no,
voice. Like,
I like his voice, and I think his songs are catchy.
I think he was much more polarizing during that time of like when he was super famous and popular,
Right.
because it was like you either like loved or hated him. And now I feel like there's so much, like now every time is passing, people are like, oh yeah, Bob Dylan, that's great. You know, they just like respect what his career was.
He's the only musician to win a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't Kendrick Lamar win one?
Is that recent? That
feel like-
obviously
I
would
feel
have
like
to be. No, because we were looking up the other day because
won
people
something.
were saying that Taylor Swift
he
might
won
be
a-
up for one, and Bob Dylan has like a Nobel Prize for music, but it's like he's the only guy.
Oh wait, Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer.
Pulitzer.
Yeah.
Pulitzer. Okay. Good for him though. Wow, that's nice.
The White Lotus trailer for season 3 came out.
Yes.
Looks fantastic.
It looks excellent, but I'll say, Fran,
It's you never
I don't
know what's going on.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Exactly what I want.
Yeah, me
like,
too. I don't want to give away.
I want a chaotic trailer when it comes to White Lotus because I don't want to have a single theory in my mind of what's going to happen until I start watching the first episode.
Totally agree. And I think that makes them all the better.
Yeah.
All of every season of White Lotus, in my opinion, the first 2 have been unbelievable. I like them both almost equally. Like I really like both of those seasons, but I had no idea what they were going to be going in. So it's, a recipe for success, I'd say.
I agree.
What's his name? Mike White?
Yes.
Mike? Yeah. Love.
Mike White. Shout out
Love.
School of Rock.
No Jennifer Coolidge. As far as we can tell, I still kind of think there will be like a flashback or something because there's the spa masseuse from season 1 is in season 3. She's on a what did they say? She's like, I'm on an exchange program or like whatever. So I kind of feel like she'll be worked into the story somehow. She can't be gone.
I know. The cast of characters really seems great. I love all the ladies that are in it.
I love all those ladies too.
What's his name? Goggins.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Oh yeah, I love him too. I
feel like he's gonna be really, really good. Really, really good.
It does look like just from the trailer, like less secluded, like compared to the last 2. Like they're like in the city. There's like a lot of crowds. Like I don't know, less of like a resort maybe.
Right.
Completely. Also, what's her face? Is it Lisa?
Yes.
Lisa from Blackpink, who people were kind of like, she's only getting jobs because she has a famous boyfriend or something. And I was like, I think Lisa's getting jobs because Lisa's getting jobs.
Yeah, and she's mega famous.
She's super famous.
Yeah.
She's a good actress. We've seen it.
Yeah.
And I've seen it on The Idol. People don't. I think I was the only person in the world to watch The
I
Idol.
watched it. I hate watched it.
I loved it. I still
Really?
sing that song. I'm just a freak.
It was so
Cause you
bad.
know I want it bad. It was like on my top listens of Spotify. Like I love that song.
That is funny.
But I think that people are giving, for some reason, there's always haters coming out about Lisa. I have no idea why, but I'm excited for her to be in it. I think she's gonna be great.
No, it'll be good. It'll be good for sure. And I trust. There's not a lot of people that it's like blind trust. Mike White's got my blind trust.
Same.
That
Totally.
he'll put together one hell of a show. So
Ned Schneebly.
that comes out in like February, I think, or was
February 15th, I think it said. Very soon.
Right, which is really not that far.
Yeah,
So
it's really not far away.
That is amazing.
Once we get into January, it's just a blah, blah, blah,
Yep,
blah, blah, like
totally,
all the way through.
Totally.
You know?
Something to look forward to.
February 16th.
February 16th.
Perfect. There we go.
Amazing. Can't wait. We will obviously be watching. And that wraps up the topics. Holiday party fails can turn into a great story that ends with a toast over Coors Light. Getting snowed in can turn into the ultimate movie marathon. It doesn't matter if the holidays don't go as planned when you choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. When you embrace a chill mindset this holiday, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is a mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Rockies. I know that you're busy during the holidays. You got a lot of stuff going on. You got to choose chill. You got to remember, especially if you're hosting and it's chaotic, who's bringing what, who's cooking what, who's remembering this, somebody forgets something. There's always going to be something that pops up. So you got to choose chill. You can get Coors Light right to your door. Everybody walks in the door, greet with the Coors Light. Everyone will be so happy. Choose chill this holiday season and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/chicks, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. And as always, celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, let's take some Pop Corner messages here in the Pop Corner. We'll go through them. Obviously, they're all going to be addressed to Rhea and Fran, so we'll just pretend that it's Kelly and Fran for the day.
Should I answer as Rhea?
Yeah, we will go through. We'll go through a few. So let's kick it off, Noah.
Hi, Rhea and Fran. This is Maggie from Philly. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
So the holiday season is upon us, and I recently watched The Holiday, and I just feel that Jack Black was terrible casting for that movie. So I'm curious if there's anyone else that you would have casted in the role of Jack Black that's kind of more a Jude Law vibe.
Is this Rhea?
Or if there's just any other holiday movie that you
sounds
think
like
someone should have been casted for, or someone else should have been casted because the casting just wasn't right. Let me know. Thank you guys. Love your podcast so much.
I'm laughing because, one, did she send this voicemail before we spoke on Monday? Because we talked about the holiday and Rhea said exactly that. She was
That's
like,
so funny.
She was like, she's like, the Jack Black casting just does not match Jude Law. Like, she was like pretty unfair to Kate Winslet that she got Jack Black. And I will fight to defend Jack Black in this role for forever. So sadly, because Rhea's not here, she would agree. But I don't think Jack Black should have been replaced by anybody in this movie.
Fran, you know how I feel about Jack Black, how I am not a
Jack Black fan, I know.
At all. I literally, I like hate him. Like I really, like I think that he is so, cause he's a physical comedy, like kind of, I'm not that kind of bitch. Like I don't like a guy who like throws himself around and is like kooky and blah, like it's not my thing. However, that being said, he is perfect in The Holiday. It is the only movie that I can stomach with Jack Black in it. I think he's perfect. I think this person and maybe Rhea are missing the whole point of Jack Black being kind of like not as hot as Jude Law.
That's why I said he's not supposed to be as hot as Jude Law.
He's not supposed to be hot. He's not supposed to be the obvious choice for Kate Winslet, but turns out he's a lovely man who respects women and respects her.
Kate Winslet's got to deal with Jasper.
Exactly. She already had a hot guy on her plate and she'd been dealing with all that bullshit. So she's looking for something new, something different. And this musical man comes into her life who respects her and admires her. And I think he played it perfectly. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry to this girl. And I'm sorry to Rhea. I know. Because I disagree.
And look, you know, it's, I will not fault you if you say you're not it's just attracted to Jack Black in that way.
For sure.
Fine.
Nobody is, by the way.
100%.
Nobody is.
You know, I get what you're trying to say. Mm-hmm. But in the realm of this movie, I just can't imagine them going in and throwing like God, you know, this is where I'm like a Michael Fassbender, like in the role, like you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of somebody that is older because this movie came out
Matt Damon
20 years ago,
like a Rob Lowe, or like a
what year did this
Matt
movie
Damon.
come out? 2004,
probably something early like that. Because even Cameron Diaz is so young.
2006. Okay, so it's almost 20 years.
Good guessing.
And so yeah, it's like they're young. Yeah. So you're trying to think of somebody that at that time would
20 years ago.
There's like, what, you put Matthew McConaughey.
Honestly, actually, Matthew McConaughey as Jude Law, I would have almost maybe liked more.
No. He's
Jude
gotta
Law
be.
is
What do you mean? He's got to be. He's got to be British.
Give him a.
He's got to be British.
He can do a British accent.
No.
Jude Law
is like he's everything.
He was good.
Like he's unbelievable. But that's the thing is like you wanted a typical guy who probably works with Cameron Diaz, who lives in LA and whatever, and you know the models and actors or whatever all in LA are all vapid pieces of shit. So that's the whole point.
That's the whole point of his story.
He had
too.
the
He gets cheated
the hot
on.
girlfriend, the model girlfriend.
Actress girlfriend cheats on him.
We need I don't want to say like critical thinking, but because I don't like that's overused, but I want to say something like
the movie would lose so much of its charm if it was not Jack Black.
We need to start looking for the deeper message in these movies and really think about it. Really, let's hold space for Jack Black inside The Holiday. Okay.
So you don't like Jack Black in School of Rock?
I hate him.
Wow.
She hates Jack Black.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you don't like that movie?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't like it. And people judge me for that. Like a lot of people judge me for that. You know, at one point when Fran's husband found out that I didn't like Jack Black, he started a group chat on Instagram and exclusively sends Jack Black memes to it, trying to change my mind.
So Joe is Jack Black's number one fan.
Exactly. And so I just am like
universally loved.
No,
like, I don't meet that many people who don't like it.
It is by other people, but yeah, I am just anti Jack Black. Similar, my mom is anti that kind of humor as well, but more extreme than me.
I'm anti Jim Carrey.
She doesn't. So I love Jim Carrey.
I
love
crazy
Jim Carrey.
To me.
Yeah.
They're so like he's
and I love
very
like Adam Sandler.
too.
Yeah, but he's usually like the Grinch. Like if Jack Black when Jack Black was Bowser in that thing where he was I liked him as Bowser. Peaches. I could fuck with that. But otherwise, no, not my guy.
Yeah. I mean, Kung Fu Panda.
The
best.
Hate that movie.
The best. Fucking love Kung Fu Panda.
Although it's really just voices, so I could get over it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
we will not be recasting Jack Black.
What I've been really thinking about lately is what the heck happened to Harry and Meghan? A couple years ago, they had the Oprah special, they had Netflix, and all of a sudden it just seemed like it died out. What about the jam of it all? Anyways, wanted to get your take on what happened, and if you were on their team, what would you do to help revamp their careers? Because it just kind of seems like they're floating into the abyss. Okay, thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Look, it's been
the jam of it all. That was very funny.
No, it's been
it's tough.
It's been tough, but it's like always been tough. Like ever since Harry left, every single project that they've done, it feels like they've really only completed a few things, right?
Yeah.
It was like the Netflix show they did, Harry's book came out, but like Meghan was doing that podcast that put like 12 episodes out total and then stopped. Like there were so many things that like Netflix, Spotify, like they signed them to these massive deals.
Yep.
And then really nothing else has come to fruition from it. So I don't know. I don't know if they just like are such perfectionists that they if one little thing goes wrong, like they scrap a whole project or they don't do this or they don't do that, but you still see them like out and about and going to events and like doing all those things. But yeah, it's been quiet. And what is it? American Orchard Farm or whatever the heck it's called?
Who knows? Honestly,
did you see the headlines?
I would like to try the jam. I have always been a little like in and out of, do I like Harry and Meghan? Do I not like them? I feel like I've both stood up for them and talked shit. I think right now, it's just like they just seem lame right now, and I don't know how else to
American
describe
Riviera
that.
Orchard.
Oh, is that what it's called?
That is.
I think that they could have leaned like on full steam ahead into that thing.
Yeah.
Like, and make, start with jam, then have
started
butter,
this-
then have a full fucking farm, and then become like farm people, but rich
Right.
farm people. So they don't actually do it. They just sell the products.
Right, well, that
They could have
is
done
very
that.
trendy right now.
Of course it is. And they were literally, it was handed to them on a silver platter. And then what happened? Like they sent it to the Kardashians, and that's the last I heard about it.
I know.
Send it to us. How about?
The
We love the royals
I know.
and all adjacent parties.
The
Bad
Instagram
marketing.
started on March 14th was when they posted the 9 graphic combo of the logo. Nothing else has been shared.
since.
Nothing else has been posted. There's nothing else on here. Rhea and I actually talked about it at a live show, but they were on a worldwide CEO search for the company. Couldn't find anyone. Meghan named herself CEO.
Oh, it's like, and also a point of when are we going to acknowledge it?
And it's always-
Meghan is still a starlet, and she wants attention.
Totally.
And
I mean,
she
this
wants
is just the
whatever. Like,
website.
It's clear.
The website, you enter your email to join the wait list. That's it. That's all that's on here.
Do you think
on
she'll
now.
ever go back to acting?
I think that's the number one thing she wants to do.
But, like,
I think she
now
wants to
it's-
be at like the Oscars with Prince Harry sitting in the
Right,
thing.
right,
and,
right.
Look at my beautiful wife. Like that's her.
Yeah.
That's her biggest goal. That's why she dragged him to California. I'm telling you. Although no, that was not the tone I was whistling at the beginning. I was like, they're in love, and now I just am not sure anymore.
Right.
I feel bad for Harry.
No, it's
and I feel
tough.
bad for William. I've been seeing a lot of pro palace propaganda, I think, and so I might be back on William's side.
Wow.
Proper Wild has delicious energy shots and energy gummies that deliver the perfect boost whenever you need to wake up and stay fun. They have no weird ingredients, just good, clean caffeine. They have some amazing flavors like peach mango, strawberry kiwi, blackberry. It packs 4 to 6 hours of energy, and it's 5 times more caffeine than a shot of espresso, and it is 15 times more I-theanine than a cup of green tea. So it's delicious. I love the strawberry kiwi. It's one of my favorites. This time of year when you're going out, you're having fun, you got happy hours, you got to get to work the next day, you need a little energy boost.
Absolutely.
Proper Wild is a great way to do it. I think people get exhausted. You're out, you're having a lot of fun.
I'm exhausted all the time.
Exactly.
Man.
You got to stay awake. Proper Wild will help you do that. Use code WILD for 30% off at properwild.com. That's properwild.com. Use code WILD for 30% off.
Hi, Rhian, Fran. It's Becca from Charlotte. I'm originally from Wantagh, Long Island Girly for life.
I heard that in the Wantagh.
Yeah, it's Wantagh.
What's with Jeff Goldblum? Okay. Any interview that I see Jeff Goldblum do for Wicked, I finish watching him and I'm like, what the fuck? What did he just say? What the fuck did he just say? Okay, so there's really probably not much to be said on it, but watch the next interview from Wicked with Jeff Goldblum, and after he speaks, think about it. What the fuck does he say? He says nothing.
Yeah.
He says nothing. I don't know what he says. He talks in circles. The guy's weird. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
No, it's a phenomenon, and it's a fantastic one. I've certainly been fed all the Jonathan Bailey, Jeff Goldblum combo press that they did together. And every comment was like, these two are promoting an entirely different movie. Like these two are on a totally different press tour. It's so great. He is a man that just I'll have what he's having. You know?
Absolutely.
He's like in his 70s. He looks fantastic.
He looks unbelievable. He's got a good attitude.
He's dancing
He's
through
a
life.
Weirdo. He is dancing through life. He might be high as balls,
Yeah.
and he's dancing through life. The thing about Jeff Goldblum, too, is that he has a little bit of, not even a little bit, almost an overwhelming amount of sex appeal for some reason, to me, at least. Like the way that he talks, the way that he's acting, and it's like, yeah, what's this guy saying? But I know that I'm listening, I'm hanging on every word, even though I have no idea what he's talking about. And at the end of the day, it's like, I would like a kiss on the lips, maybe Jeff Goldblum. Like, it's a weird, he just has that.
No,
He's got that energy, and he
a
still
charm.
does.
He totally does. I don't find it. And you know what I loved? I saw a video the other day that made me so happy. It was at like a basketball game. It was a sporting event. And Leonardo DiCaprio was there and Jeff Goldblum was there. The camera pans to Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, the hat's over his face.
Always, yeah.
He doesn't acknowledge the camera at all. He's looking down. The guy next to him's does not
Leo's vibe. He
no
hates that.
acknowledgement. Camera pans to Jeff Goldblum. Oh my God, he sees the camera, he lights up, he hits his mark, he stands up, he waves to the crowd, he's smiling ear to ear, and people were all like, be like Jeff, you know, if you're that famous, be like Jeff.
Just be like Jeff.
And he's having the time of his life. Half the time I'm like, I don't even think he knows what movie, and they all joked about that, right? They joked about even filming, that there were some creative things that Jeff wanted to do with the wizard, and they were all joking, being like, Jeff, the wizard actually doesn't have magic, right?
Yeah.
You know, and
that's the whole thing. It's a grift. Yeah.
And it just seems very funny. He totally seems like he's just living in his own world, and God bless him.
God bless him.
You know, that's how I feel.
God bless him. That's for sure.
You know, I think we'll wrap it up today because we're going for a while. Maybe we'll jump in with some so Rhea can do some this week too when she comes back, which will be fun. We can save. We only have 2 episodes left this year, guys.
Ooh.
That's it, Friday and Monday, and then we are fully done, and we'll be back in 2025. So, Kelly, thank you so much for filling in today.
Thanks for having me. What a lovely catch up, Franny. I loved it.
Love having you here. All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and we will be back on Friday.